Listen, it's been a little while. It was a bit of a delay, but I want you guys to remember where we are right now. Double overtime, map 4, blowouts to start the series, and Vertigo delivered. Mousesports are fighting tooth and nail, and right now they're trailing. It's the second half of a second OT, and we don't know what comes next, but what we know is we are here right now. So focus forward and sink in, because Astralis want to close this. They do not want to let Mousesports take it to a 5th one, and Glaive, well, he's gonna begin. It's towards mid that this first fight falls.
Oh, we've already seen some new adjustments here. And again, Dupree, he is on that second op. A shot, a chance is missed. He'll flash his way back, but the opening kill will haunt Mousesports. How will they follow up with this? Glaive has moved in to defend against B. They have an idea it's coming. B-Mass whip back and denies device, and this opens up the other site. Glaive, they don't know that he's actually moved this way around, and it'll offer him up a frag. He's going back over towards A to spot the cross, and Zipix, he's moved into the lower ramp.
Oh, they don't check fast enough. It's an immediate trade kill, back to the 2v2, but Rops has been left. And if you thought device, or rather Glaive going over the box was one thing, well, Rops takes that exact same path like a hunter. He is on the trail of his prey, but Glaive may take one with him if he peeks out far enough. He knows his flank is compromised, but where has Rops got off to? Right behind you! And Dupree, well, now it's got to be that 1v2 or Mousesports are going to tie this game at 20.
Holy hell, he's getting called out, man. Dupree, he's got to come up the ramp. He's walking. They know that could be an empty Molotov landing in his direction, and the smoke down means he could get on it. The peak will come, but the shot is in.
And now he's sticking this.
Oh my God, the shots are being missed.
Chance.
No way he actually gets it. One away.
He misses it again.
One away. Astralis could just finish the game now. Off of that, Dupree hits the shot, sticks it, and again. Shots missed on the defuse. This time it's Rops. Who's going to be next? The amount of moments that have come down to these sprays on players defusing when they have no other choice.
They cannot let that break them. A near mirrored image of the reason we even got to second OT.
Oh my God, the setup. Glaive, he's spotting this. Oh, he gets some spam damage, and 3 players down to nearly 50.
Oh, nothing.
Missed. Middle of the map is cracked open. Glaive, he'll get a very important kill to establish control. They sit out here in the open now, and Glaive could potentially wrap around. Dupree is back to his old antics.
He makes so much sound on that movement. Dupree, he's going to deliver another kill. They're starting to stutter inside of middle. Glaive, he is just beneath them. And that bomb carrier, well, that's going to be on Frozen. And he's down here in the dungeons. And Zipex, the king, drops him down to 34 HP. Every single player left for Mousesports now at near half health or less. Talk about pressure.
Okay, mid-round situation. Rops moving up to the A ramp at Zipex. He finds Frozen finally.
The bomb carrier, he comes in from a different position. But Zipnix, he smoked this off. Right there, right now.
Oh, he'll ask for the help.
They've got the bomb. Mousesports, they are stranded. They are desperate, and they have no way to get through this smoke, not in time. They would have to walk through and find the most ridiculous kills that you have ever seen. Astralis here in double OT. They've got just B-Mass back by the forklift, and he is so desperate, he has nothing to offer them. They scramble, and they leave him in his own demise. It took 2 overtimes here on this fourth map, but Astralis have done it. Lower the drawbridge, open the gates. The Kings have returned to winning ways. Astralis are your Dreamhack Masters Winter Grand Champs.
like bowling pins. He gets floored. Oh, Rob it up, Rob.
Penny almost flame, dodging the shot. Glaive pokes in for an absolute clutch.
Glaive's return to the in-game leadership role signals a return to that championship form we know, we love, and we come to miss from Astralis. Whether you meet them online or on land, they are going to be ready for you, because today's victory, it signals the renaissance for the Danish side. Do you think this victory, boys, would have been possible if Glaive wasn't calling the shot?
I don't think so. I think what we saw from Glaive was something magical at this event. We saw so many rounds that were called that were absolutely masterfully called, and it wasn't something that just rarely happened. It felt like he was taking over entire games with his calling. Sometimes I didn't look at the scoreboard or who had what kills. It was just Glaive and his mind working.
And you've got to give props to Mousesports as well. The young individuals on that team showing up, Carrigan leading by example. And BMAS, for me, he has come on leaps and bounds in the last month alone.
Yeah, even the fact that Mousesports were even able to challenge in this grand finals goes to tell you what level they're playing at. Think of Astralis' other victories, 2-0s over top of all the other challengers versus them. So this showing from Mousesports, it wasn't even what we expected. That win on Inferno is something to be proud about in and of itself. Nuke, so close that this could have actually been Astralis taking us to a 5th map, not securing that Grand Champ spot. So just an awesome showing from Mousesports and an even better calling from Glaive. All of the pieces really showed up for them tonight.
And Vertigo, I mean, we were just 3v3, 2v2, and then the diffuse situations, it was down to the wire every single round.
Yeah, it was absolutely clutch plays, and when we got to OT, playbook was almost out the window. They started having to do things they weren't doing earlier in the game. Whatever it took, the scrappiness from Carrigan, the audacity from Astralis to continue forward on the A ramp late into the round over and over again. They just had to do some of the same stuff and try to make it look different.
Mousesports then. We'll be talking to Astralis shortly, but I do want to talk a little bit more about them, because this is such a positive result for them. It's a step in the right direction. I know that you guys are going to be casting them next week when they head to the Blastful finals as well. They seem to be a one to watch now as we head into the end of the year, just like they were in 2019.
Yeah, this was just a huge moment for them, right? Their biggest grand final match, whatever you want to call it, in how long? I can't even remember the last time that they've had something like this. And for them to get this far into the tournament and then take it to Astralis in this way, handing them one of their 1 in 13 losses on Inferno, their hallmark map on their map pick, that really woke us up and showed us that this is a team that is really here to play. Carrigan's firing off. All the others are coming up. BMAS gets his first clutch on rec. I mean, there's so many cool things. First ace, excuse me. There are so many moments here for Mousesports.
Do you think, or did you ever think, that Mouse actually might go their separate ways? Because there was a point, probably just after the player break, where I thought it was all over.
Sure, well Chris J was never going to leave. He doesn't, right?
He just goes to the bench sometimes.
Yeah,
but then
just to come back.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't really know what the future looked for them, right? The thing with Mousesports is that they have this trio of young talent. And these aren't the only 3 talented young players in Counter-Strike, but they are 3 of the hottest names. And with Frozen really kind of stepping up alongside Rops, right? Like the second star, it was really about, can Carrigan do it with a third party? Can he really put BMAS to that next level? And can he himself, regain a form that justifies him staying on a roster? I mean, Carrigan is invaluable at this point. It's been proven. And so I would hope they stay together, because they are the only team at this event. And this event was stacked with 16 very real top teams that took it to Astralis and did it on Inferno of all places as well. So hopefully, Frankie.
We don't get to award an MVP officially, but if you had to choose a player, who would it be, Launders?
Oh my God, for the whole event, I think it would have to be Device. I think Device just showed a monster mode for this entire event. The maps that he put together, even when he got 20 kills, the amount of impact kill he got, how many opening op kills he got on Vertigo, but then on Train didn't get any and still was getting 2 to 3 kills around. just in this final alone, I mean, Device, he just, again, he never gets his flowers, but he makes it look so easy every single goddamn day in the server. On a team that we talk about because of Glaive and the calling and how evenly stacked they are, Device still stands out from the rest. He has maxed out on accolades in terms of team results as well as individual results, and you see it. All of his shots come in, and he gets them because he makes them look easy. He's always there when you don't expect to see him. He's the guy who's never flashed. He's the guy who's so consistent, and he's the guy who pulls out clutches too.
Squirty, would you agree?
I would have to agree that Device is right there with him. And, you know, if Mousesports had taken this series, then I think that Rops absolutely deserves it, because Rops was one of those key pieces to the turnaround on Inferno. And if you had to choose anybody else from Astralis even, then, you know, I got to give credit to Glaive. He's right back there. He's right back at the helm, and he's really pulling the strings perfectly at the moment. So many good calls, so many good moments from Astralis. Very much so back to, you know, tournament winning form. It feels, you know, it's not as convincing as it once was, but it feels like we are right on the cusp of them returning to something special.
So Rops, he's a bona fide superstar now.
He is undoubtedly a bona fide superstar. He did not choke in this final. He showed incredible resilience, especially there on Vertigo, where he was bullied every single round in the second half. And this is something Glaive does. They'll take your best player, they'll isolate him, and they'll constantly attack that site, and they'll figure out how to make it so they have no confidence left. He did it to Twist. He tried to do it to Rops. And here, Rops, he just played more and more confidently, no matter how badly it got. And then he started putting together 2 kills, 3 kills. This is part of the reason it got to OT in the first place. It was all because of Rops, and he just has he has unshakable bones in his body. Like, the performances we saw from him throughout this event show us he is just a cut above every single other team. They're all bots to him.
You coming up the cool, you better not miss.
Yeah, I like that.
We are waiting for Astralis. Hopefully we'll get them in the server soon. I think they have a few things to obviously celebrate here. I'm just trying to think about what we've got to the end of the year. I believe Astralis are going to be coming to IAM Global Challenge. I don't think, sadly, Mouse are.
Yeah, they're just a flurry of results for Mouse recently, right? Like, they're just now, they're getting into the, you know, potential for the to be in the top 6 for the Pro Tour. They're in the play-in now, I think, with the amount of points that they've gotten off of the second place victory on top of the 30 grand and just making it to a grand final. So some of the accumulation of points and prizes and stuff like that some other teams have had at the beginning of this year, they haven't been a part of that. But from here on out into next year, they're off on the right foot. And
unfortunately for Mousesports, because they didn't get the full 400 points from the finals today, they haven't made it into a direct spot for the road to Katowice, but they should be in with a chance still of making it, because a result like this means that they may be taking one of those wildcard spots. If they go far enough up the ESL World Rankings, potentially we will be seeing them in Katowice next year, and we're definitely going to be seeing Astralis, Na'Vi, G2, Heroic, Vitality. It is going to be such an epic event. We also know that we have Evil Geniuses and Furia confirmed for North America, and the team formerly known as Chaos, as they will be at the time, and Team Liquid have booked themselves play-in spots as well. So there is so much on the line here. There's so many amazing teams already confirmed. Katowice, no matter what happens with that event, is going to be an incredibly special one. And to be honest, boys, so has this event. For me, I think we've had such exceptional games of Counter-Strike. We've had our underdog stories in Godsent and Gambit, and then we've had our heroes return to form. Mousesports, just one of the best teams to be a fan of, and Astralis, the team that always plays to their best, even when the chips are down. We know that they've had some issues. We know that the players have had to go away and they've had to struggle with your 6th player, your 7th player, Pimp, running an active campaign to try and get on the Astralis lineup. Maybe one day it will happen, but I don't want to crush your dreams, because I know you're doing North American Counter-Strike in a bit. Yeah. But we've just seen so much action from the last 7 days. Do you have any favorite moments, Saunders? Yeah, I mean, first of all, this is grand finals because it was supposed to be a 3-1, 3-0, something like that. And for Mousesports to bring it this close, and again, I don't even know the last time that they were in a grand final. So the fact that we saw this result in what should have been a stomp today is something special. And also just the fact that Astralis look like they're actually creating the conversation for, like, are they back in 2018 form? And as soon as we get an interview, of course, we can talk about, you know, do they feel like they're getting back to that level? Because it feels like they're close to it. Scorny, lean in here. Yeah. Look at these teams that made it to the playoffs. Yep. Any favorites here? Any memories this is stirring up for you?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm a bit of a sucker for him. Cloud9. We had Counter-Strike history made by Floppy with 2 back-to-back 1 versus 5s. You know, something that, again, players don't even get to achieve too often in their careers, let alone to get 2 of them in 24 hours. That, to me, is just absolutely stunning. The underdog stories of Godsent and Gambit, but I'm going to stop because that phone's ringing.
It's time to talk about the champion story because we're now joined by Astralis and they are absolutely worth the wait. Bubsky, Magisk, Zipnix and Dupree, thank you so much for joining us. And this is your first event back with Glaive in that in-game leadership role. Dupree, does that make this win all the more special?
Magisk was the first one. Yeah, sure, it does. I mean, it feels good to be back playing with the original roles. Not saying, well, a big shout out to Magisk for doing really well throughout the stand-in of Glaive. But I think feeling that Glaive coming back to the in-game leading role is just everything starts falling into place. So it's really good. And even though we started off the tournament with a loss to Godsend and we were a little bit shocked by that, it was just really great to feel that we can bounce back and, yeah, win the tournament. So I couldn't be happier.